Division I Open Singles Final. Return serve from Lake Forest College will be Victor Perez. Let's give him a hand.
And you heard the round of applause for Vic Perez from Lake Forest.
Serving from Lake Forest College will be Nikolai Nahorniak.
And there's Nikolai Nahorniak, the #1 seed.
We have 2 line judges for this event. One line judge is Don Mosley, who'll be sitting directly behind me. The other line judge will be Tim Stewart, who'll be over by the service line. Okay, gentlemen, when you're ready, let's place the ball.
Referee is Rick Hatcher. This is the Men's Open Finals of Division I. My name is Dave Vinson alongside David Fink for the 59th Collegiate National Handball Championships here at ASU.
Okay, 0-0-0.
Our defending champion, #1 seed, Nikolai Nahorniak, Dave, serving first, serving to his teammate and doubles partner, Vic Perez. And a great start there from Nikolai. We saw Nikolai start very slowly yesterday against his teammate, Isaac Acosta, trailed 8-1 before rallying for a 21-9, 21-5 victory.
Second serve.
Score is 1-0, second serve.
That actually would have been a good time to just dink that ball there, Dave, because Vic was so far back.
Serving
0
1.
serves 1.
It's amazing, Dave, how infrequently players win the rally on that front wall, back wall setup. Invariably end up losing the rally when they have that easy shot in the front court. Nikolai just so smooth, Dave, with both hands. You really can't tell what handed he is. He comes over the ball so well and puts the ball down so well with both hands.
That ball actually hit the microphone. Nick
No,
is pointing.
It actually didn't. It actually didn't hit the microphone. It hit in the middle of the door. The microphone's to the right of the door.
Nick is actually thinking it hit way over there to the other side. I
I actually agree with Nikolai here. That was just one of those funny bounces.
Let's take a look at a replay here, which I know we're not going to be able to get that exact replay of that. If we were looking at the above camera, we would.
That's just one of those strange bounces that can happen. Just sort of like hitting a crack.
Here is the replay right here. See what we can gather off that ball. Comes back.
Tough to tell from there, but now it's Vic Perez earning the side out with a nice hop on that right-hand pass down the left. Put a nice natural on that shot. Here's a big setup for Vic, and lets that ball get a little bit tight to his body, but still able to put it away in the right corner.
Score is 1-1.
Nikolai overhitting a little bit here in this first game, early. Nice pickup. Not the right shot there from Vic.
Okay. Awkward.
He's like the tag team wrestler that gets tagged in and he's all rested up and then he just starts, you know, jumping around and he's taking on 4 people at once with chairs and he's that guy, you know?
Somebody asked me about that last night. Why was Nick yelling? He kind of seems to yell in the times when you don't expect somebody to yell, and the times when he should be yelling at himself, he doesn't.
We'll get a replay of this. I thought that ball was good. Nikolai saying that it skipped. I thought it was a good kill. Nikolai asking for the replay. We actually do have a replay, but
we're going to take a look at the replay right there. It's the replay on the monitor.
you can watch it right here.
I would take a look at that one more time. Here is the replay, Dave. Look at the monitor.
I saw it. It's a good ball.
That's a ball. Is definitely hit the front wall first.
heard Nikolai before the match, Dave, saying it is difficult to play a teammate. Someone has to win and someone has to lose, obviously. And there's a double fault there from Vic.
Side out. 2 serves 1.
2 serves 1.
That's 2 passes.
Nikolai catches the left side crack there.
3 serves 1.
And there's a side out with Victor Perez serving at 1-3. This is the first game of the men's singles finals. In the broadcast booth, we have Coach Hall of Famer Mike Dowell. Welcome to the booth, Mike.
Thank you.
You have 3 representatives in the men's and women's finals. Victor Perez, Nikolai Nahorniak, and Sandy Ng, and your team won the combined championship, the men's championship, and the women's championship last night at a very energized banquet. What are your thoughts about the tournament thus far and your players as well?
Well, I thought our players performed up to their capabilities and then some. It's amazing sometimes when you come to this tournament how the kids improve with each match. It's probably from observing people playing, getting motivated, obviously. But I've been very pleased with the group that we have this year. I didn't think that we had a chance to win at all. I thought we had a good chance to win it in the women's division, but I didn't think we had the depth to do it in the men's division. We were fortunate this year because of the splits of talent from the Irish and from Missouri State and a couple other schools, the Pacific, and that gave us the opportunity to take the team championship. These kids have worked very hard. They have been very motivated. We work very hard at trying to improve our game and trying to stay in condition. Every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 6:30 in the morning, we go in and we do 50 minutes of weight training, and rarely does anybody ever miss. And that's kind of a testament to their desire to win. And so it's certainly been a very rewarding year, and I just hope that we can continue to show that we are competitive with everybody and anybody that's in the tournament, and so we'll look forward to coming back next year and wherever that may be, and give it our best shot again.
Now, I don't want to age you, but how many years now, how many collegiates have you been at?
Well, this is our 43rd year. I started the program in '68, and this is our 43rd year. And my goal is to make 50. I think I can make that, and then after that, I'll take one year at a time. I still coach football, and that's always been my first love. But certainly handball has crept very, very closely to my allegiance to the football, and I certainly have enjoyed. Probably the biggest difference, obviously, is coaching both men and women. We've had a women's team since 1980, and they're a joy. They work just as hard as the men, and I have several girls that are very competitive with our men. And that gives them an opportunity to realize the challenges that they face when they come to this tournament, because there's some very high-profile players, particularly among the women and particularly among the Irish.
Mike, you quickly brought up your love for football. You have a player on your team who's an exceptional handball player and maybe even better as a human being. His name is Pat Jarvis.
Yeah, Pat decided that in his senior year, he wasn't going to play football. Pat came from a high-profile football program in the Chicago area called Mount Carmel High School, and they've had literally hundreds of kids go through that program, and many of them D1 players. And Pat's older brother played at Lake Forest also, and was also a member of the Mount Carmel football team. And Pat was our best wide receiver, a tremendous athlete. And he's gotten himself into an internship, which he's been working with a company now for a little over a year. And he's really preparing himself for the next step in his life after graduation. And he just didn't feel he could give it to football what he needed to give it. So he just played handball his senior year. We were certainly disappointed that he didn't play football because he was an exceptional talent.
And he's a pretty darn good handball player too.
Yeah, his problem, he did not play handball at all during the summer, which is strange because his dad's a three-wall player, and of course when we play handball in the summer in Chicago, it's mostly outdoors. And his dad plays a lot, although he's been injured recently, and his brother's been injured, so he hasn't been playing. But he really was involved with his pursuit for the job that he's been working at as an intern.
We are going to go quickly down courtside as Vic Perez is actually taking the lead here against the #1 seed, 6-5. Dave Fink is down there, Mike. Let's go to Dave. Your analysis during our conversation up here, Dave.
Thanks, guys. I'm actually here with Nikolai's dad, Mr. Nahorniak. Mr. Nahorniak, what's it like to watch your son here? He's the defending champion now, playing for a second consecutive title.
I love it. It's the best thing I'd be doing. Anytime he plays, I try to watch all of his matches.
We always see it at all of his matches right now. He seems like he's a little bit tense right now. Seems like he hasn't really settled in yet. Is that something that's pretty standard for him, or do you see him working his way out of that and starting to play his game pretty soon?
Yeah, well, lately, especially this tournament, he's been starting a little slow, but I think he'll work his way out of it also. It's a matter of getting into the flow of the game and making the right shots. Right now, his shot selection isn't so good, but I think he'll work his way out of it.
And we also discussed with Nikolai before the match that he is playing his teammate, a good friend of his. That has to have some effect on his performance and his mental frame of mind as well.
Yes, they know each other's games very well, and they play each other a lot, and they've both fed off of each other throughout the season. So now it's time to catch the other one off guard, do something a little different, and get the edge.
Thank you very much. Guys, down here at courtside, Vic is really elevating his game right now. I think his play has a lot to do with why Nikolai's made a few mistakes here early in this first game. We'll certainly continue enjoying this match, and we'll send it back to you, Dave.
Thank you very much. Dave Fink courtside with Nikolai Nahorniak's father, who's also here watching. He does travel around and watch his son play a lot. We're in the booth with legendary and Hall of Fame coach Mike Dow. Mike, tell me a little bit about Victor Perez. I know he's a Southern California kid, played some big ball 3-wall, and now he's converting, or maybe he's always played 4-wall, but certainly you can see that his game has improved just from just a couple months ago when I watched him play.
Well, he is a product of Southern California handball. A good friend of mine by the name of Mike Cogan put me on to him several years ago, well actually 4 years ago, he's a senior now, and said that this boy has promise. And when he came to Lake Forest, he was probably, I would categorize him as a low club A player, and he's got a resolve about him that he just is intent on becoming very good, and he's pretty much achieved that status, certainly at the level of collegiate handball, and he's ready to move up to the next level. He's fearless in his game because he'll shoot from anywhere. I mean, if I opened the door and let him go down the hall, he'd shoot from down the hall. And he has a high percentage of success with shots that most people wouldn't try. He also has a strange technique. He's what I call an arm swinger, and he doesn't get his body into the shot much. He's so darn strong. He's got exceptionally strong legs, and so I never try to change him. You know, when you get kids that can turn around and do things certain ways, the best thing in the world is don't change him. And so he's succeeded far beyond my expectation, quite frankly.
Well, we're impressed with him here. If he started off just a few years ago on the low club A level, now he's in the open championship with the collegiates, you have to be completely thrilled as being, I'm quite sure, his kind of surrogate father, his other father here in Lake Forest, because talking to these kids, they do look up to you so much, and it's very important to them to have your guidance at times.
Well, I've always felt that part of a coach's responsibility is to try to assist his kids as best he possibly can. My wife is a very integral part of the whole operation. She turns around and does everything from their laundry to turn around and talk to them after they lose and offer them some solace. And it's a real part of our program to make it as family-oriented as possible. We do entertain the kids at our home regularly, and we also have a terrific relationship with their families. And we've got about a half a dozen families here, and it's just something that I've always felt that was important in coaching. You try to help kids to prepare for the next step in life, and there's a right way and a wrong way in terms of how they should approach life, and you hope that they'll buy into it. And I'm here to say that I would say that 99% of the kids have bought into it. Sometimes, interestingly enough, not until after they graduate, because they'll turn around and come back to a function at the college and just simply turn around and say, you know, all the things that you were telling us while I was here, they were true. I have a saying that every kid who's ever played for me never forgets, and I tell them that sleep is vastly overrated. And as a result, some of the kids, when they are in college, they'll sleep late and they have bad sleeping habits. Most college kids stay up way too late at night, and all of a sudden they get out into the real world and they got to be up at 6 in the morning on a regular basis and out trying to maintain a competitive relationship in terms of turning around and moving up the corporate ladder, or whatever profession they intend to participate in.
You're listening to the voice of Coach Mike Dow from Lake Forest. Both of his men are in the finals here. His student athletes, Nikolai Nahorniak and Victor Perez. Down on the court is Dave Fink. Let's go to him really quickly here and see what he has seen from Nikolai Nahorniak, who's kind of changed the momentum, Dave.
Nikolai really dictating play now. He's so much power. He's shooting the bottom board so well here. Vic just trying to stay here in this match, but he'll need a lot more shots like that. A beautiful front wall, left wall, flat kill. Vic has been unable to really impose any pressure with his serve thus far, and that's been a huge disadvantage for Vic thus far. Vic has put down several setups, but he hasn't had the opportunity to shoot all that much. It's been Nikolai taking control and taking a lot of balls out of the air, using his power to keep Vic on the defensive. And there you see it again. It's Nikolai driving the ball straight down the right wall. He has so much strength with both hands.
The score now is 11-8. Dave, thanks for jumping in really quick. We're here in the booth with Mike Dow as you're watching the men's finals of the Collegiate Championships at ASU in Tempe, Arizona, brought to you by the United States Handball Association, hosted by the WPH. For those that are interested in building a handball program at their college, Mike, you haven't had to worry about building a program, but you certainly are always one of those that people contact and ask questions about regarding fundraising or how to engage with the kids and to keep them in the program. And can you offer anything that without, I know we can talk for 2 hours straight about this one subject, but is there anything that you can say that is definitely the top 3 things that you need to do in order to establish a program?
Well, first of all, you got to start from scratch. We started with 4 kids in 1968, and we had basically 4 to 8 kids for the first maybe 8 or 10 years. And it's a slow process. And the thing that I find that happens at most schools is that there's a limited time span between people who start a program and then leave the program. I've seen a half a dozen programs fall by the wayside over the years, maybe more, and it's because that whoever starts a program doesn't continue it or doesn't find somebody to continue it for the school. Memphis State is a classic example. They had great teams in the early the mid 80s to 90s, and once Charlie Mazzone retired, that was the end of the program. And the same things happened at Montana Tech, of course Florida, or Miami rather. It's unfortunate that the people who start the program haven't stayed with the program. Insofar as how to start it, well, I don't have any real wisdom other than the fact that you're going to need a lot of support. You're going to have to find some people that are willing to help you. I found some people that were willing to contribute some money in our community that were interested in perhaps a program being started, and we did a lot of bake sales and a lot of car washes and stuff like that to start, like so many groups do when they first start out. But as time went on, and at 43 years of competition at the intercollegiate level from Lake Forest College, we've developed a tremendous alumni who are very supportive of our program, and as a result, we turn around and we don't get the money from the college that we need in order to take 24 kids to the national tournament. Our alumni raise the money. I never ask. Just every year around November, the checks start coming in, designated for the handball program. And it's always been sufficient so that we never left anybody behind. And I'm very fortunate that the kids who participated over the years feel that way about the program. And so I really don't have 3 ways to how to start it. You just got to be enthusiastic. You got to be willing to learn from the kids. When I first started coaching handball, I really didn't know how to coach handball. And it's evolved over time. We now have a program where we practice much like football. I've got 10 minutes for this, 10 minutes for that, 5 minutes for this, and then we scrimmage, no scores taken. You get kids into a competitive situation, they fall right back into their old habits. And so it's just a process that just takes time. And I'm always pleased to see coaches come back. Mike Seal's a classic example. Tommy Burnett's a classic example. Ozzie Burke, although he's only been involved for maybe about 6 or 8 years in terms of really coaching the team by himself. There are a handful of us that have hung in there for a long time, and I'm sure you could probably, from them, get a similar kind of response in terms of how they started their program and how they maintain their program. There's no question that we go out and recruit kids, or try to recruit them. We don't have an athletic scholarship. Everything's based on financial aid or academic scholarships. And so it's, I'll say this much, that over the years, I would say that probably 60% of our men never played before they came to the college, and I'd say close to 80% of the women never played before they came to the college. We got 14 girls on the team, only 3 ever played before they came to Lake Forest.
Wow, that's amazing.
So it's just something that you got to turn around and think in terms of, okay, we're going to start at a level that we feel we can compete at. And now that they've developed in the structure of the intercollegiates different levels of play, that allows anybody and everybody to succeed if they're willing to work at it. And I don't think any less of a Division II championship than I do of the Division I championship. The kids work just as hard, and they're really the building blocks for the future, because you'll find that those kids, those who stay motivated and with the help of a coach, will continue to turn around and play handball for a long, long time. And that's what we're after. We're after people to play forever, and and hopefully most of these college kids will do that.
You're hearing the voice of Hall of Fame coach Mike Dow, coach of Lake Forest, and a beautiful serve right there from Nikolai Nahorniak. Dave Fink is sitting right there watching Nikolai with that serve, and also during the timeout practicing that serve that is sliding that glass. Dave, this rally right here looks like one of the best so far of this championship. A nice dig right there from Vic Perez, and another get, and the crowd likes it, Dave.
Amazing get there from Vic. He had an opportunity to win that rally with a kill from about 25 feet, just barely skipped it. I think he might have lost his legs there at the end of that rally.
As he should.
He covered a lot of ground there. And Nikolai, just so much power. When you hit the ball that hard, Dave, and you catch the sidewall that low, the ball generally will flatten out, and that's exactly what happened there. Nikolai is very pumped up right now.
Let's watch the replay here. There's that serve from Nick, Mike. That ball's just peppering that sidewall. Vic did everything he could to get it back to the front wall. This is that rally where Vic dives to the right. He has to come back here, barely scoops that ball. Now he's got to dive back over to back here, scoops it back up again. There's the dive to the right.
Yeah.
Where do they get that energy, Mike?
I'm sorry?
Where do they get that energy?
Oh, God knows. God knows we could kind of capsulize it for us in our old age. Marvelous to see young people and their enthusiasm and their endurance.
It's a great camera angle there. Nikolai Nahorniak and that serve. Where is Nick from? Where did you get him? Is he Canadian?
No, Nikolai is from a program at the Ladoff Y in Chicago. Don Quinlan is kind of the Pied Piper of a junior program. He starts them at 5 years old. They play triple bounce, then they move to double bounce, then they move to single bounce. And Nikolai is a product of that program, as is a number of kids that we have. Riley Kloss is a member of that program, and he's at Lake Forest. Kyle Kloss is a member of that program, and he's at the University of Illinois. I've had good fortune in attracting a number of kids from that program, and hope I can continue to attract them to the college.
Well, he's been in 3 finals now, and looks like he's on his way to win his second one here, won last year. He has progressed. His game is vastly improved. In fact, on a 3-wall court, I bet you wish that they had a collegiate championship for 3-wall, because he'd be right up there, if not winning it every year.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal player. There's no question. He rates right up there with a number of the excellent players we've had over the years.
He's taking pediatric dentistry.
Yeah, he has visions of becoming a dentist. He's been working for a dentist as an intern for a couple years now. He'll have to go to graduate school, and he told me last night, he said he thought he was going to take a year off from school and prepare himself for whatever exam they take, like the law SAT. It's a medical SAT of some kind. And he really didn't prepare for that this year. He's spent a lot of time playing handball. And one of the things that Nikolai has had an advantage of is playing in Chicago against some of the better players in Chicago on a regular basis. And now he's pretty much dominating everybody except for Sun Lee. And Sun Lee has taken his game to another level even since he's graduated. He lost to Nikolai in the tournament we played last year in Houston, the intercollegiates there.
And Sun Lee says that he's one of your helpers here.
Yeah, he has. He turned around, and he doesn't have a full-time job, which disappoints me. But he's come over and helped the kids a couple times a week. He'll take them individually. They sign up, and he'll spend time going over things that we think are important. Return serve, the volley, whatever, or fundamentals, the stroke mechanics and focusing and all the rest of it. We have a saying that, so many times you watch young players when they miss a shot, they get angry. Well, we say don't get angry, get focused. And sometimes we sell that and sometimes we don't. And hopefully the kids learn in time that anger is a waste of time and energy.
I hope our sideline reporter Dave Fink just heard that. And there.
No, I didn't.
That concludes game number 1 between Nikolai Nahorniak and Vic Perez. Nikolai 21, Perez 13. We are going to take a quick break from the webcast booth, say goodbye to Mike Dow. Thank you for stopping by, Mike. Anything you'd like to add before you leave?
No, Dave, we appreciate the efforts that both organizations have put together to combine the teams. There's no question that last year was something that none of us really wanted.
Forgettable.
And, and so we're delighted to be back to the maximum numbers of kids that we can play. I look forward to this tournament continuing to grow. If it grows more in numbers, obviously there's going to have to be some changes made. God knows how. There are a number of ways you could change the tournament in terms of accommodating those numbers. I've often thought that maybe that as we get more and more women involved, that we may just have to go to a women's tournament and then a men's tournament, although I sure do like the two of them combined. But that may be something we just have to address. Thank you very much,
All right,
Dave.
thank you.
Okay.
You have a great rest of your tournament, and congratulations on the team championships, the men, the women, the combined. That's Mike Dow from Lake Forest. As we take a quick break between games here, Nikolai Nahorniak at his very best today, defeating Victor Perez in the first game, 21-13. For Chris Garrad, Linda Manning, Jeff Castor, Dave Fink, Mike Dow, and our referee, Rick Hatcher. My name is Dave Vincent. We'll be back for game number 2 coming up right around the corner. You stick with us. WPHLive.tv.
second game. Victor Perez will be serving. Score is 0. Hold out this to say, hold it. You see okay? Linesman ready? 0, 0, 0.
And you heard the score from Rick Hatcher, 0-0. This is game 2. Vic Perez, that's a screen serve, and it is called from the referee. Nikolai Nahorniak wins the first one, 21-14. This is the men's finals of Division I open play.
Very entertaining first game. Amazing when you listen to Coach Dow talk about Vic's level just about 2 years ago at a low Club A level, and here he is pushing the collegiate national champion in game number 1 here in the finals, and he starts off with one of those sort of unorthodox swings and unorthodox kills that his coach had mentioned during the first game. He'll shoot from anywhere, and he makes a high percentage of it.
I thought the ball could have been short.
I actually don't think that was a screen. That was a good 12 inches behind Vic with a hop on it.
I think that, in my opinion, is the second short ball.
Well, I don't think he would have served that as his second serve. So had he known that was his second, this is more of a second serve here. This is not a good serve at all. That's probably the worst serve that you can hit in handball. Really don't understand that serve.
Well, Vic should not be nervous at this point. It's an interesting serve right there. Very difficult to get that ball back if he hit it right. You step in on that ball, Dave, and just pound that with a fist?
I would step in and take it down the left or back to the ceiling. Nikolai with a great get there. He did get that ball.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah. Might go to the instant replay here. We have a great angle of that shot.
Nikolai Nahorniak is appealing his own shot. Here it is right here on the replay.
I think it's pretty clear that he did get this ball. Yes.
Just has a weird, as it comes out of the front wall. I'm not really concerned about it double bouncing before he catches it. But after it hits the front wall, did it hit the front wall first?
I think it did. That's a tough shot. Takes a lot of strength to pinch the right corner with your left hand, particularly with that ball up around your chest. Just a beautiful shot there from Nikolai.
Interesting serve from Nikolai.
He's getting the setups. And that's a great pass there. He froze Vic, and Vic takes an early timeout here. Does not want to let this get out of hand early in this second game, but you see, we'll take a look at the replay of that last back wall kill there from Nikolai. Nikolai had such a huge setup that Vic really had to guess. He guessed to the right, and Nikolai went behind him with a hard pass to the left, and Vic was just completely frozen. Probably will get our crack staff on that replay any second here, Dave.
You are watching the 59th Collegiate National Handball Championships. Here's the replay.
And watch here, this huge setup here. And you see Vic just knees locked.
For those that are watching at home, you don't have to kill every ball off the back wall with 2 inches high off the front wall. That one he hit about 10 inches high, and he put a little natural hook away from Vic.
But the 2 inches are good too, for those watching. And there's one that's about 4 inches, very effective. Vic is playing a little bit too far back here. When Nikolai has those back wall setups, Vic should be up a little bit closer to the front wall around the service line area and force Vic to hit a perfect kill and play for the kill and adjust to the pass. But now it's Vic sort of hanging behind Nikolai here, not a good sign. Could be a sign of frustration and fatigue.
Strange positioning there from Nick.
Nice finish there from Vic, took his time. Boxed Nikolai out to his left and drilled the kill shot to the right.
Score is 1-6, second game. Nikolai Nahorniak wins the first one, 21-14, and now he's back in the service box.
Another very poor serve from Vic, and that's been his biggest weakness, Dave. He's scored 14 in the first game with virtually no serve whatsoever. and he started this second game also with no serves. And that's a shot he should make. You see, rather than stepping into that shot, he lifts his front foot and falls back, consequently skipping the shot. Just completely over swinging there. Resets the action there. That's an interesting play there. That ball hit the back wall, front wall, and then Nikolai takes it off the back wall and kills it.
Those are pretty good serves, Dave.
Nikolai very much like a receiver that scores a touchdown in football, Dave. After he makes a kill shot, he's celebrating it.
He's yelling before he hit that shot. And a timeout called from Vic Perez.
He was actually yelling
Before.
as Vic gave him the setup. He yelled all the way through the shot and continued yelling after the ball rolled out.
And
They have penalties in football for excessive celebration. They're 15 yards. I'm not sure what the penalty would be in handball for excessive celebration or for celebration during, before, and after a shot in the middle of a rally.
Watch this here. We don't hear the courts, but he yells right there, and then he hits it and yells more.
There's a lot of yelling going on. This was Vic's second timeout here, Dave, early in this second game, so he'll have only one timeout remaining. He'll need 20 more points with just one timeout.
Score is 9-10, 9-1, excuse me. This is the second game. Nick Nahorniak wins the first one, 21-14. This is game number 2.
Nice pickup from Nick, and he hits a nice through-all shot. That's just an amazing shot there from Nikolai. Yeah.
Indifferent.
Now Nikolai really pumping himself up now. He's enjoying this. He's playing some great handball here. You hear the crowd trying to get behind Vic. They want to see a good match here.
There's Nick making some noise before the shot and after the shot.
Nikolai is known to talk trash during practice matches against teammates, against rivals. Doesn't really matter.
And
now
that's the last
it's Vic's
timeout.
third timeout here.
I don't know how anybody can put up with that without saying something. Even though I know that they work out together and that's just part of the routine. But here in the national championship, would you be prone to step in and say something to maybe level it out a little bit? I mean, it could work in your favor, couldn't it? You can get into their head.
Well, I think each personality would handle it differently.
How would yours handle it?
Well, I don't think you need to ask. Vic's a very level-headed bloke, though, so I think he's used to this. I'm sure he expected this type of reaction and celebration also, so he's probably not surprised.
Now, you played Nick at a tournament in Milwaukee recently, right?
It was actually
George
Toledo about 2 years ago.
Was there any celebration?
No, there wasn't.
So this behavior is new.
Well, he wasn't doing as well in that match as he is in this match, so there wasn't as much
Reason to
reason to celebrate.
Okay. All right, got it. Nikolai Nahorniak, third national championship appearance here in the collegiates, and his second attempt at, his third attempt, but this could be the second championship trophy that he is going to raise if he gets 7 more points.
For the first time, Dave Vincent, it's you and I both speechless. He sort of looks like Sergio Garcia running after his shot from behind the tree. 1999 PGA. He follows his kill shots in when they've already rolled out.
That's a setup for Victor Perez.
Nice touch there from the big man. Dave Vincent, I know you've been around the sport for just about 30 years. I don't know if you've seen anything like this before. Not judging, just reporting.
I know I'm supposed to answer this, but I just don't want to.
Well, you can say if you've seen it or
No,
not.
I haven't.
Oh, you haven't?
No, this
Okay.
is the first.
Okay.
This is the first.
Okay.
One serves 14.
Not sure if that's English that he's screaming or not, but it's loud. Here's a setup, and he gets it. A great get from Vic, and just too much power. That's exactly what you try and teach there, driving the ball straight down the walls. He drove it straight down the right wall with his right hand.
There it is. That's what I'm talking about. You just say, if you just stand up and do one thing, you could at least get the crowd on your side, because it is awkward in there to watch somebody kind of clowning around while you're playing. That's why I say, what would you do, Dave Fink? You know, Vic finally raises his hands, and now it seems to change the energy here in the gallery.
The best thing to do really is to score points. That's difficult though, Dave, to play when you have that many ups, because it's hard to stay that energized throughout an entire match. Now it's Nikolai taking a timeout, but Dave, as you know in sports, you want to try and maintain that even keel, because when your emotions start to go far up and down on the extremes, it's hard to regulate your heart rate, and also your level of play is all over the map, so to speak.
Score here is 15-3 with Nikolai Nahorniak leading after winning the first one 21-14. You are watching the Collegiate National Championships, Tempe, Arizona at ASU, brought to you by the United States Handball Association, hosted by the World Players of Handball. We heard earlier Mike Steele and Fred Lewis talking about the collaboration of the two organizations. And you listened in on that, Dave. I'm sure you have an opinion.
I'm very much in favor of it. This has been one of the first events that the collaboration has taken place, and there's a couple more in the future, as well as a pro tour starting in October of this year. So it's an exciting time for the sport.
Three serves 15. Victor Perez serving to Nikolai Nahorniak, both from Lake Forest, Illinois.
Sort of a raising the roof type of move, but great serve from Nikolai.
But Nick uses his fists.
Right, that's
to,
why
like,
it's
to
not
punch out.
exactly a
Yeah,
raising the
I
roof.
think you're like punching the roof
Oh,
off.
punching the roof off.
Yeah,
Okay.
you just punch the roof. It's
Yeah.
a low ceiling.
Oh, okay. Well, he's pretty tall, so.
You know, Mike coaches a football team, and I should have asked him, why isn't Nick playing on your team? I mean, it seems like he can pretty much play any position he wants to. He seems incredibly athletic and long arms, too. Three serve 16, game 2. Men's Division I Open Championship, and a crack serve from Vic Perez. 4-16.
You see Nick stepping in there and paddle fly killing that shot. Caught Vic off guard. That was a smart shot.
16.
What were you saying?
Vic stepping in and taking that left-hand paddle fly kill. Vic not expecting it. And now it's Nikolai just 5 points from defending his championship. Would be his second collegiate national championship.
There's a replay right here. Let's look at the monitor.
You see this, most players let this ball drop.
Okay, he's looking for a first serve, 16, serves 4.
That ball was short. No call from the ref.
Might see an appeal here from Vic, and he does.
Okay, I call that a good serve and a point. That's a short serve. Second serve.
See Nikolai looking at us like we're going to do an instant replay. Don't need to do a replay when you've got lines judges that agree with the ref. Look at that shot right there from Nikolai Nahorniak.
Beautiful left-hand kill from about 32 feet.
Wow.
And that serve was short. Nick goes for the crack on the right.
And now
Big.
Nikolai is 3 points away from taking the second straight national trophy.
18 serves 4. Side up. 4 serves 18.
Four serves 18 here. Vic Perez serving to Nikolai Nahorniak, second game.
Great strength from Nikolai. Takes a power serve on the bounce from chest height, about 37 feet, and rolls it right in front of Vic Perez.
It appears to me that you may be down talking to Nick here soon after he gets his next 3 points. I'm not trying to put the nail into the coffin completely, but Dave, could you ask him a little bit about his methods of pumping himself up here? See what he's thinking?
I'd like to know myself, so I'm certainly planning on it.
He seems to do it after his opponent hits a ball into the ground, instead of when he makes a good shot. It's not like he just broke that ball on them.
Actually, that was a complete miss hit.
20 serves 4.
Here it is. This is game point. Nikolai pointing with one more finger. He needs to get one more to win, and this is a good serve, but not enough. The return picked up by Vic. Wow. Nice digging from Vic Perez. Nikolai Nahorniak 1 point away from winning his second straight Collegiate National Open Men's Championship on the hardwood here at ASU in Tempe, Arizona. Here is the serve. With a slight reverse, that was a short by about 8 inches.
Second serve.
A lot of power with Nick's left hand up top. And that ball does not make the front wall. Nikolai Nahorniak takes it. It's a repeat for Nikolai Nahorniak, representing LFC, winning his second straight Collegiate National Handball Championship here at ASU in Tempe, Arizona, defeating Victor Perez by the score of 21-14, 21-4. This is the 59th Collegiate National Handball Championships at ASU in Tempe, Arizona. Nikolai Nahorniak now walking over to his father and his fans over there with Lake Forest. And look at the team going over to Victor Perez and giving him a hug. They have a line that they have formed to include someone who's never gone to college. Jesse Aranda is also in that line. Here's the replay. Ball off the back wall. Nick floats it around. And here comes the game-winning shot right there on the replay from Nikolai Nahorniak. Let's go down to Dave Fink, who's courtside with Nick. Dave?
Thanks, Dave. I'm here with the 2011 champion, also the 2010 champion. Congratulations on your repeat, an amazing college career. This will be your last college match. How does it feel to end a champion and a winner? You also won the team title.
It feels amazing. Just coming from playing at such a young age and excelling so far at these tournaments, I feel blessed. I'd like to thank my coach, Coach Dow, and everyone that helped me, Don Quinlan, when I was younger, and especially my dad. He had a great impact on my upbringing.
We talked before the match about playing your teammate, Vic. You have to be so proud of Vic. He came just a couple of years ago, at about a low A level. Here he is in the national final. You have to feel so good about being able to play your good buddy, Vic, and how well he played, especially in that first game. He really pushed you.
Exactly. Just playing with all the competition at Lake Forest College has really helped him and me, and I'm really proud of him. He's my roommate. He's my best friend at Lake Forest right now. Really glad that I got to play him here.
One last thing we have to ask you about. You're so demonstrative in pumping yourself up after your shots and after your kill shots and whatnot. Do you think that helps you? And where did that really come from?
Just being a competitor, and I've played varsity sports and stuff. They always tell you to just play big, and I kind of took that to handball. And sometimes I play with no emotion too. But I feel like if in a really tough game I need to show some emotion also, because maybe it might psych out the other player, because it's not doing anything to me. So that's how I feel about that.
Certainly it seemed like it helped you, because yesterday we saw you a little bit flat in the beginning of your match against Isaac, and then you start pumping yourself up. I don't know if you're raising the roof with the fists or you're pumping the fists. I'm not sure.
It's not a Jersey Shore thing, if that's what you're asking. I never watched that show. But yeah, it's just something I've always done, kind of like Tiger Woods thing.
Okay, great. Well, we certainly want to congratulate you. Look forward to seeing a lot more of you in the future in handball. It won't be in college handball as a player. You're leaving as a champion, but we'll see you a lot in the future, big events. And congratulations again.
Thank you very much, Dave Fink. I don't recall Tiger Woods doing that fist pump after Phil Mickelson missed a 3-foot putt, but I think I understand the analogy that Nikolai Nahorniak is talking about. He just now wins, defeating his close friend, Victor Perez. Fred Lewis now has
great 4 years.
More information here, down on the court.
It's been a tribute to our program, and I couldn't be prouder of them. They're going to be sorely missed, obviously, next year for sure. But they're going to go on to the next step in life, and I know they're both going to be successful, just like they are here on a handball court. Congratulations.
That's Coach Mike Dow talking with Fred Lewis.
Nikolai, you waited a long time for this. You've deserved it, and you've worked hard at it. Continue to work on your game. I think you've got a good future in the pro circle, and I'm very, very proud of you. I really am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
That was a quick speech from Coach Mike Dow. Fred Lewis has the microphone, and now it's the award presentation courtside. During this live webcast, this is the last match of the day. So we're catching as much of this presentation as you could possibly catch inside of a handball court. Seems like we have 6 camera angles and 5 of them are obstructed. That's a great camera angle from Linda Manning, flying down from Portland, Oregon, helping the WPH crew with this live presentation. Nikolai Nahorniak defeating his roommate and best friend, both from Lake Forest College. Score of 21-14, 21-4. In the end, it's the 3rd straight appearance for Nikolai Nahorniak at these collegiate championships. 2 straight wins in the men's Division I Open Championship category. And he also won the doubles championship right? Pat Jarvis? We have Pat Jarvis in the actual booth here. Pat?
Hey, Dave, thanks for having me. That is correct.
Who did he win with?
Nikolai Nahorniak and Victor Perez won the open doubles.
Who did he beat?
He beat myself, Pat
oh,
Jarvis,
sorry.
and Isaac Acosta.
Oh, sorry about that.
No worries. Great motivation for the future. Thanks, Dave.
Pat Jarvis also on that Lake Forest team. It seems like it's impossible to not have a webcast match where someone from Lake Forest is being represented on the show court, but that's a good thing. Tell us really quickly before we wrap up this live webcast, as we look down here toward the camera, Pat, about Lake Forest. Why is it that a student should go to that college? And it is certainly a powerhouse for handball, but besides the handball program, why would you go to Lake Forest?
Right. Well, just speaking from experience, it's been great 4 years, academically and athletically. It's something that really, no matter how much talent you have on a handball court or as an athlete, playing for Coach Mike Dow is truly a great honor, and no matter who you are, what type of person you are, he'll definitely form you into a great a student first and foremost, and then also a great athlete, great handball player, and put you here on the show court.
If I'm a parent of a junior handball player and I'm looking to send my kid off, get him out of the state, out of the house, out of that extra bedroom, go on a little vacation, and I'm going to take him to a handball program somewhere in the United States, or even if I'm abroad and in a foreign country wanting to send my student to the United States, why would they go to Lake Forest?
No questions asked. You have to send them up for a visit on campus with the one and only Pat Jarvis, and I think I'll be able to show him a good time, teach him a few things hopefully, and you know what, it's just it's a great campus, a great location. Summertime, all the kids who are around or stick around for the summer, we travel together, we play 3-wall, whether that's at Rainbow Beach or LaGrange, different parts of Illinois, but really just an overall great experience and a great team. The camaraderie around the guys and girls is pretty unique. Our
background microphones are picking up some of that camaraderie that you're talking about. Your team won the combined championship, the men's and the women's. And how does that make you feel today as you say, hey, I'm part of a national championship again, as you, I believe, are now, you're done with your collegiate games. This is you're done. You're no longer going to be here at these events unless you are a coach. But how special is that to win that team award?
It is very special, knowing that, us seniors especially started, 4 years ago. Actually came in second place our freshman year to Missouri State. They have a heck of a program over there, but knowing how hard we worked day in and day out, whether that was, 6 in the morning, conditioning with Coach Dow, in the classroom, practicing, we all came together in the long run, in the end, and it's really a great feeling, and we have to really give it all back to Coach Dow and Paula Dow just for all their help and support.
During your little stay up here in the webcast booth, our cameras are catching some of the action here. I guess it would be post-game action as everyone's kind of wrapping it up. The tournament is now over. It's officially over, and we're saying goodbye. So wanted to say thanks for you for coming into the booth to talk to us, but also for making it to the finals of your doubles open championship there. You came close. You had a good tournament. You had a fun time. Really quickly as we leave, this tournament compared to those that you have played in the past, how does it rate?
Right. I think by far this was the best collegiates we've attended. I think that's majority would say the same thing also. The webcast was definitely a huge contribution, and I'm sure the people at home are able to watch this. The HD, correct?
Mm-hmm.
First ever. First ever. So it's been great from the cameras, just from the group of people here and all the coaches being so supportive from the different schools. And you guys were a huge help. I love how WPH and USHA came together with this and made it a great all-around experience for us all.
It's been a lot of fun. Thank you for stopping by the booth.
Thanks, Dave.
And
Appreciate
enjoy
it.
your trip home, your 18-hour flight and all that other stuff, because I know that there will be weather issues, as there always are.
I think there's 2 inches in Chicago now. Something to look forward to.
Okay, good. Pat Jarvis from LFC. We are going to say goodbye for Chris Garrad, Linda Manning, Dave Fink, and all of those that have helped out, to include the best man, Jeff Kastner, who is tirelessly always behind these cameras. There you see Jeffy down here. with his camera, and he was one of the original pioneers of this whole webcasting thing. So we certainly want to thank Jeff for his work, and those that have put together this production. Thank you for watching the live webcast of the 59th United States Handball Association's four-wall National Collegiate Championships, hosted by the WPH. We're going to say goodbye from Tempe, Arizona. For Pat Jarvis, my name is Dave Vincent. We'll be back for the next one later. Wave to the cameras, Pat.
Thanks, Dave.
Bye-bye. See you later from niftytv.com.